Hey guys, Marcel from HPA. I want to take a moment and introduce you to one special HPA build. This Texas-bound R32 not only got the Borgwarner 8474 powered FTX 500 turbo kit, but our boys pulled out the DSG and converted it to a 6-speed manual. So this will be the only 6-speed manual FTX 500 Mark 5 R32 in North America built by our team. Hey, before we go for a drive, I'm going to give you a sneak peek under the hood. This isn't just your average HPA FT turbo kit. Being the FTX, it has the Borgwarner 8474 Gamma Tie Tech turbo under, and that incredible throttle response from that turbo is supported with one of the shortest boost tracks found on any turbo kit for the VR6. On our Superflow, we made 550 horsepower and shy of 540 foot-pounds of torque. And when you harness that with that 6-speed manual transmission, and you're hitting that torque at 2,600 RPM and that horsepower at 7,200 RPM, it should make for a whole lot of fun on those Texas interstates. Yeah, all right, so besides the absolute sheer privilege it is to drive these builds, there comes this responsibility too. We do a 250-mile break-in on the rolling road, breaking the bearings in, the turbos in, making sure it's all roadworthy, and then we have to do things like bedding the brakes and just checking the real-world influence out. I get behind the wheel, and a car like this that accelerates so violently, I have to really watch that I don't glaze the brakes in the first 500 miles here. You know, this car here, I'm at 4 grand, I just punch it, and it's just instantaneous. And what a treat it is to grab gears. You know, I spend a lot of time, if you followed anything I do on Instagram, in my RSI Beetle, which is a manual 3.2, naturally aspirated. We did a lot of twin turbos with them back in the day, and I've really come to enjoy the 6-speed, but it is missing what this does. Everything 550 horsepower and 540 foot-pounds of torque delivers, you need. And I would really lose my license in about a night playing with this one. It is just one strong little mambo jambo, this one. You know, the Porsche 3.2 out of the Cayenne, why we used it for the refresh on this is it has a forged crankshaft, where the Mark 5s here in North America all came with a cast crankshaft. And the casts are fine, but once you crest 500 horse, we have had one fail, a casting fail. I have it on my desk as a daily reminder as to why I hunt the forged crankshaft. But besides the forged crankshaft, which the Mark 4s had and the Gen 1 TTs also did with a 3.2, Porsche cheated the compression ratio up slightly on the Cayenne motor. So, you know, we re-ring these, we put new pistons in these motors when we refresh them for customers, those that don't get the internals built. You know, and this one's fine. That a stock rod is good to 24 pounds of boost. We have this thing set at 19, and at 550 horsepower, 19 pounds of boost, I think we're healthy. Woo! Hang on, just get the adrenaline out for a minute. Yeah, we won't talk about the speed here because, while it's not a closed circuit, it definitely qualifies as a public road. Anyway, these motors just make the power a little bit more effortlessly. Kind of like the early Mark 4 R32s, right? They had a sodium-filled exhaust valve from factory, forged crankshafts. They were just designed for power. As they slowly went down the production line into Mark 5 and the Audis and the TTs and the A3s, they optimized cost and they took the sodium-filled valves out and they put a cast crank instead of a forged crank. So if you go hunting those parts, we typically hunt them through the Porsche channel. And this one needed it. It was good. The customer was actually an original turbo build of ours from back in, I like to say 2008, the 20th anniversary kit. And the client just wanted to give it one less breath of air. So we got rid of the Garrett turbo that had been on here for all those years and upgraded to that EFR from Borgwarner. Did a full refresh on the motor, and at the time he's like, look, you know, I love the DSG, I've enjoyed it. He's owned the car since new, but I'm kind of wanting to entertain myself with a stick shift, and entertaining is probably a good way to define that, because grabbing gears right now, managing all this torque load, is bloody well entertaining. So how would I rate this car? Yeah, I drive it every day, no question. We have R8s, we have all kinds of big, heavy horsepower cars. Even the big 7-speed DSGs, I love them. We got our 2.5s. There's something raw about these 3.2s, and the Mark V, you only came in one flavor, DSG. Well, here's what it felt like with caramel sauce put on top. Yeah, all that and more. That's what I got for you. Check this thing out on the interstates in Texas. I get the feeling that this owner, when he's out and about, it'll only be in a playful mindset. And the best way I can describe this car is it just wants to hunt. It wants to hunt whatever. And I know Texas has a lot of big hardware, so he should enjoy himself. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm sure our team will put together some neat pictures and things on this thing up on Instagram. Check it out. Let us know what you think about taking out the DSG and having converted it.